Hi guys, good morning. Happy Tuesday. Today is 27th of July 2021. We thank God for life. We thank God for everything. Okay, so let me just get straight to the point. Yesterday, 26th, Monday, I made a post about mediation and why people should try the mediation route instead of going straight up to a lawsuit. Thank you guys for the messages, and a lot of you came to my DM to make inquiries, to ask questions, to know how it's doable and all of that. But I got two very important questions which I feel I should address publicly for the benefit of the public. The first question that somebody asked me, I won't say it's hilarious. I won't say the question is hilarious in any way, but I just feel that when people are not clear about something or they do not have a proper understanding, and if one person does not have a proper understanding of something, there could be 10 of that person or 100 or 1,000 of that same person out there. So the first question was, if mediation is cost effective, why do they have to pay for mediation and pay for lawsuits? Why don't you just go straight up to lawsuit since they still have to pay for mediation? Okay, so cost effective simply means that it saves you more money than the other one, which is a lawsuit. And I have to first say here that I am an internationally trained mediation advocate, and so training of that nomenclature comes with fees attached to it. That is one. You also have mediators. Okay, so I am also on my way to becoming a mediator because you have to move from one stage to the other. So we have mediators, and you have people that are working in the multi-door courthouse which have to be paid. Resources are being used. But why we say mediation is cost effective is this, and I want to be very practical. There is a matter, there are other matters that I'm handling in the court, but there's this particular one I always like to talk about when I want to compare lawsuits with mediation. I took over that matter when I became a young lawyer, and that matter is still in court, and I'm talking about over 8 years ago. The matter was in court even before I became a lawyer, and I took over it as at the time I was newly called into the Nigerian Bar Association, and the matter is still ongoing in court. I have actually left the law firm where I was handling that matter, but as at the last time I checked, the matter is still ongoing in court, and that is over 10 years, if not over 15 years. And while this matter is ongoing in court, there are situations where you're going to file processes, somebody brings an application, you're going to counter, those will cost you money. You're still going to mobilize your lawyer to court, because you cannot say the money you paid 15 years ago should still suffice for the lawyer to still be going to court. That's one. Now, secondly, if, for example, that matter that I'm talking about is a matter that has to do with 100 million naira. Now, the value of 100 million naira in 2000 to 2001, you and I will agree that it is never the same value. The value would have depreciated to a very large extent, not to even talk about our present economy and the value of naira. That is why we're saying mediation is cost effective. Another reason you should understand that mediation is cost effective is that the mediation practice direction of Lagos State says that mediation must not be more than 3 sections and a maximum of 2 weeks interval for adjournment. So if, for example, we had a mediation section today, Tuesday 27, they will give us one more Tuesday, that is next week Tuesday. The upper Tuesday, we must return to continue, and it must be 3 sections maximum, except in very few cases, special cases, that it extends more than 3 sections. So in a wrap, with maximum of 3 months, you are done with mediation. So I hope we understand when we say mediation is cost effective. So even if you have to pay me as a mediation advocate to come along with you, to put you through, to go through the process, what you're going to pay for 3 sections can never be compared to what you're going to pay if we were in the court for 5 years, for 10 years, for 15 years. So I hope we are clear when we say mediation is cost effective. Second question, somebody asked me that, how do I marry being a court lawyer, that is a barrister that goes to court all the time, and being a mediation advocate, that isn't it a conflict of interest, or am I not confusing people? Okay, so that's a very good question, and what I would like to say concerning that is, firstly, I've always been a court lawyer, in quotes. I always use that word so that people can relate to what I'm saying. That is a barrister, that everybody knows that a barrister is someone that goes to court to advocate. I've always been, for all my practice years, I've always been in court. I love going to court. I love advocacy and all of that. But being a mediation advocate does not in any way conflict with me being a lawyer that goes to court. Now, in my opinion, and I'm emphatic about it, in my opinion, before my colleagues will come after me, I think a lawyer that has been in active practice, has been a court person, will be a better mediation advocate and will be a better mediator. And here's my reason. It will take a lawyer that has been into litigation for a long time to appreciate the place of mediation. You go to court and you are in court for 5-6 years, and then you go for a mediation section, and 3 sections, maximum of 3 months, you are done. You still make your money, parties are happy. If it's debt recovery, the money is paid. So it takes a lawyer that has gone through the rigor of litigation, that has gone through the to and fro of litigation, to understand and appreciate the place of mediation, to see that, oh, this is really better, faster, and more convenient. So my position as a barrister, in quotes, does not in any way conflict with being a mediation advocate, because at the end of the day, we will still go back to the courts even after a mediation. And a lawyer needs to be abreast of the practices of, like I said earlier, my opinion, of the courtroom practices, the procedures in the courts, because I always say the courts in every circumstances and all over the world have the final say. So you need to know how to dice your onions as a lawyer when it comes to litigation. And how will you still go back to court even after a mediation? Parties will sign what is called terms of settlement. It is this terms of settlement that will be taken to the court, and the court will endorse it as its consent judgment. It has to be endorsed by as a consent judgment before you can actually execute it or be able to execute it against the other party, for it to be, really obligatory. That's the word, so to say, obligatory to both parties. So I hope I've been able to convince you guys that being a litigation lawyer or a lawsuit lawyer or a barrister does not conflict with I being a mediation advocate or even being a mediation judge in any way, because at the end of the day, not all matters can be resolved through mediation. Not all matters can go through mediation, and out of 100 matters that is referred to mediation, like 85-90% get resolved. The 10% will still have to go back to court, and that is where I come in as a barrister. And when you want to do a mediation, that is where I come in as a mediation advocate. So I hope this helped. Please like, share, comment, leave questions, save this video. You will need it in the future. I will see you next time. Bye.
She's just a girl and she's on fire.